Hey, when I was 18 years old, I learned in Yeshivas Lubavitch in Toronto, Bathurst and Lawrence. One day I went over to my Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Akiva Wagner, may he live and be well until 120. And I asked him a question. See, at that time, every Friday I would go on Mivtzayim. I would go to different streets and different businesses and offices all around Toronto and wrap tefillin with the Jewish people. But when you leave the four walls of yeshiva, you're exposed to many things that are not so holy, things that are not so tznius. And I asked him, how can I personally and others stay strong and make sure I don't get affected by the things I see, the things that are not holy? And he told me, Nachum, one day you're going to get older and you're going to learn smicha. Baruch Hashem, we got there and did it. And then when you learn smicha, the laws of koshering, the laws of koshering meats, the halacha tells us that in order to eat meat or chicken, you have to salt the meat. Why? Because we're not allowed to eat blood. The salt has a power to take the blood out of the meat. But the question is, the same salt that is taking the blood out of the meat can bring it back in the meat. It can do the same job. And the Shulchan Aruch tells us a term, and it says like this: Aidi detarit lemiflat loy bala. Being that the meat is busy miflat, it's spitting out the blood, the salt is taking the blood out, loy bala, it would not absorb it. It's doing one job. It's spitting the blood out, it's not going to take it in. And he told me the same thing applies to you. When you go on Mivtzayim, when you go out into the world, you're going on a mission. Your mission is to give. Be so busy giving, be so busy sharing that you're not going to absorb, you won't have time to absorb anything from the outside because you're tutted, you're busy giving and sharing. That is the mindset you have to have, and that's the way you go into the world and give and share your light with the world without getting affected by the outside ideas and outside ideologies of the world. The famous tzaddik, Reb Mendel from Kutsk, he was known as Mendel Kutzker, he once famously said a beautiful line, I read this years ago. He said, I don't ask of my chassidim not to sin. I don't ask of my followers not to sin. I ask of them not to have time to sin. Be so busy learning, doing shiurim, projects. You're busy. You don't have time to sin. There's no time for it. Aidi detarit lemiflat loy bala. All the best.